there's probably going to be a lot of unreported frostbite.
Alan Arnette has been covering Everest for over 2 decades. He doesn't say things like this lightly. The route to the summit opened May 13th. Then the jet stream firmly parked itself on the summit of Everest, shutting down any future possibility of summit bids. Wind chills of negative 68 degrees Celsius. Alan Arnette says, what does it matter if it's Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Minus 68. That is frostbite. I don't care what type of a down suit that you have or boots. So I'm expecting, sadly, there's probably going to be some deaths. So this next week is going to be a nail-biter.
492 permitted climbers and their support staff all staring at the same summit window that doesn't begin till about May 18th or 19th. This is what a pressure cooker looks like on the highest mountain on Earth. While many are hunkering down and resting for a clear weather window, scores of climbers, guides, and high-altitude workers are moving their way up the mountain to be in a position to summit as early as May 18th or 19th, possibly the 20th or shortly after, which creates a very short summit window for the record year. More permitted climbers on the mountain than ever before. But so much can change on a dime, and the experts aren't holding back. Alan Arnette, who we saw at the very beginning of this video, the ultimate Everest chronicler, said in a recent video about the delays and the short amount of time left must squeeze hundreds of people to the top and back down again. The route opened, as mentioned, on May 13th, and some climbers were following along with the rope-fixing team and summited successfully without incident. But meteorologist Mark de Keyser, he says the jet stream is parking itself on the summit right now. Winds are blowing past safety limits until the 18th, and hopefully many people will be in position. And as friend of the channel, Xavier Ladouceur has reported on his Instagram account, he and his team, along with Perna Lopcham, will be departing for the summit this evening. Now, I say this evening, Nepal is 10 plus hours ahead of where I am right now. And how that works is a climber will leave and probably end up at Camp 2 on the first day, stay overnight, then to Camp 3 overnight, Camp 4 overnight. So it could be 3-4 days possibly before those people are in position to actually go for the summit, weather permitting. And it's always worth watching the updates from Kenton Cool, who has been to the top 19 times, more than any other person who isn't from Nepal. And he keeps a very balanced and positive outlook on how things are going. I'm sure after 19 successful summits, he's seen a lot of things come and go and knows that keeping a level head is absolutely critical to keeping emotions at bay with his clients and his staff.
Time for another Everest update, and looking behind me, you can see that this is not Everest Base Camp. So what is going on? Meanwhile, we do have a really good Everest forecast coming up. There's a little bit of high wind, which is due to the jet stream, which is slowly moving out of the area. But with the good forecast in mind, I have decided to travel back to Base Camp and make an attempt on the summit with my right-hand man, Dorji Geljan. So I'm going to start my travel back to Base Camp tomorrow. And then once I get there, we will decide when we are going to move up the mountain.
Also, among many of the expedition outfits laying in wait for the perfect opportunity, Lukas Furtenbach Adventures is getting his team prepared with their high-altitude food, showing off, as he calls it, high-altitude cuisine. And that includes one of his guides, Dave Watson, keeping a level head as teams prepare to take on one of the most challenging days. This is a day that puts you right on the edge, and given the numbers of people who will all be up there at the same time using one single fixed rope to go up and down, everything counts. And a little bit later in the video, stay tuned, I'm going to bring you a short interview with a doctor who is on Furtenbach Adventures in base camp, and he's going to share with us us his take on what it takes to get up that mountain successfully. We've been doing a deep dive into the complexities of the 2026 Everest season and how delays have really created a pressure cooker on the mountain. One single thing goes wrong, and it could be life or death for some of the climbers on the mountain. That's why each climber needs to take every precaution and get every advantage when going for the summit. That's why I wanted to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, Hypershell. Hypershell is making a big difference in many people's lives. Now, let me tell you about it. This is the Hypershell X Ultra. Hypershell X Ultra is the world's best outdoor exoskeleton to date, and it's extraordinary. Now, I'll be honest, I was hesitant to do it because I'm old school. I seek out the sufferfests. I love the pain, the sweat. The Hypershell is not a medical device. It's an exoskeleton that learns how you walk. The AI motion engine adapts to your gait patterns, takes inputs from over a dozen sensors like gyroscopes, accelerometers, a barometer, and amplifies your strength going both uphill and downhill. So I took it over to one of my favorite training trails in the White Mountains. Here I am without any assistance. Early season. Please help me. Okay, same trail, same hill. Let me show you what it actually feels like. I am not going to lie. I'm impressed. With the Hypershell X Ultra, you can explore further with fewer restrictions and less effort. It's pretty amazing. It's not just for extreme athletes. It's perfect for everyday adventurers, photographers, daily commuters, and anyone who wants to push further with less effort. And I'll be honest, I thought it was going to be impossible to get used to it, but it fit. And it worked just like they said it would on my first hike. Hypershell wants you to give it a try as well. That's why they're giving the viewers of this channel a $200 discount. All you have to do is use the link in the description below and use the code Everest Mystery for $200 off of your Hypershell. Thanks, Hypershell, for sponsoring this video. Now let's get back to it. Another very important issue to the safety of the mountain workers on Mount Everest and the other 8,000 meter peaks is Pemba Sherpa. He's the founder of 8K Expeditions, social activist, and among other things was a coordinator with the Expedition Operators Association of Nepal to get the ropes fixed up to the summit on May 13th. He's sounding an alarm, and he says that Sherpas are doing all the heavy lifting on Mount Everest in what is now a very tight schedule on the mountain. Think about this. So the mountain typically closes right around the very end of May. So we're looking at just a little bit over a 10-day window to get more climbers than the history of the mountain to the summit and down again. And he says that what's happening with the mountain workers is there is inadequate rescue backup and insurance, and he says that they're the ones fixing the ropes for the 490 plus people waiting to stampede the summit on the 19th. And as I noted earlier, the rope fixing team, it reached the summit on the 13th. 14 Sherpas, brutal conditions, a season already delayed by 3 weeks, while their achievements are often hailed around the world as being the strong ones, the heroes of Mount Everest. He said that, yes, they are the backbone of mountaineering, and he said it's at risk because it's hard to make a living on this mountain. They're not being paid in an equal measure. Many young Sherpa are leaving the country to go make a better living. And he says then what happens very often is they have very inadequate insurance and no proper rescue backup. So if one of those Sherpa had lost his life in service to all those people waiting below, what Pemba is saying is that Mount Everest itself, the guiding industry, is really putting too much pressure on the very individuals it relies on for it to function properly. Here's what he told me. there's a lot of people on the mountain, and you need. So what are some of your concerns about the mountain workers, the Sherpa, and all those people? Because it seems like it's getting more and more dangerous.
Yeah, I have a concern, and always on my mind because of this. The staffs who are working on the mountain, especially the Sherpa guides, the cook, kitchen boy, the porters, everybody. So they have less paid. Their insurance premium for the rescuing them and the insurance money that they get if in case, unfortunately, if they die on the mountain. And there is nobody looking after their family. Basically, the children and the wife, and nobody is caring about that. Okay? So I want to advise to the nations. It's not like a conflict or the fighting. It's not like that. But I want to advise to the nations that we need to improve this kind of factors. That is why the people, the workers who are working on the mountains, they are now migrating to the abroad country for their better financial support. Working in the European country, even in the Gulf country, they are compelled to move because there is no safety, no guarantee, no good payment. So these sorts of things we have to improve. In terms from the organizing company, they have to think about that. And the next thing, if the government keep the systems and rules and regulations, that the private organization like my company must follow that one. This is my concern. I felt very, very deeply saddened about these kind of factors and the activities on the mountain.
So the winds are expected to drop on May 18th, 19th. And now, so how do you get prepared for such an event like this? If you're up there and something's completely out of control, how do you get emotionally and physically ready for the biggest day physically of your life? I had a great conversation with Dr. Bernabé Abramor. He's a physician and a climber with Furtenbach Adventures. And Bernabé, he has worked on Aconcagua for over 10 years. He summited Aconcagua himself 7 times. Medical director of Extreme Medicine, which is the official medical service of Aconcagua's regional park. Now, for those of you who might not know, Aconcagua is the highest mountain in South America, one of the 7 summits, just below 7,000 meters or 23,000 feet in height. And in a wonderful conversation we had just the other day, he emphasized hydration over and over. He kept going back to hydration as one of the key elements for safety on Mount Everest, as well as some element of mental discipline. And so let me take you to just a short snippet of that interview with Bernabé. As a doctor, as the person who's looking out for the well-being of your team, obviously for everybody, but what are the things that you're most concerned with when they go up to the summit? Like, if you were to tell them anything to be sure to look out for, what would you say? Okay, look out for this, and you should be fine.
Okay, we do. I'm with a partner here with Chaco. We are 2 doctors at the base camp, and we do a simple medical check. We check the heart, the lungs, the oxygen, the pulse, and the blood pressure. Really, how is he feeling in this expedition? Because it's not only the organic, the mind play a really big role in this type of expedition, because there are a lot of days and it's the highest mountain in the world. But with this plan of acclimatization, really we try to give some advice for the push, for the rotation, or for the push to the summit, and take care. Be honest with the symptoms. No, it's very important to talk with the guy and tell all that they are feeling in this moment. And drink a lot of water. Yeah, I think that is the key. Yeah. It's the secret in the mountain, but it's really difficult to understand and drink a lot. And it's very important to drink a lot on the base camp, because on the altitude it's difficult. Yes, drink a lot, and be honest and talk a lot with the guide. Yes.
Everest is about to be Everest, and the world will be watching. The question is, will the climbers listen to the mountain and to the weather, or will Alan Arnette's prediction come true? Only time will tell, and it's coming down to the wire. It's going to be happening very, very soon. What do you think? I hope that you'll leave your ideas and your thoughts in the comments section below and get the conversation started. And if you're still watching and haven't subscribed yet, please click that subscribe button. And for more exclusive content, be sure to check out the member section. And if you want some free exclusive content, you can go to patreon.com/Everest Mystery. And also be sure to check out our merch store, everestmystery.com. A big reveal here. We have 2 new embroidered hats, the Pemba Sherpa Expedition Rescue Flat Bill Cap. It's a snapback, one size fits all. This one sports the words Everest Mystery on the back and also the Pemba Sherpa Rescue Trucker Cap. Both these hats come in several different colors, so check it out. And all the proceeds from these 2 hats will go to support a rescue mission of the choosing of Ong Chering Lama, who was instrumental in the rescue of this Eurasian widgeon that stole the hearts of many viewers on Everest Mystery, including myself. And Ong Chering has given his stamp of approval on these hats and will gladly receive the proceeds to donate it to a rescue mission. And so check it out and support the best cause that I can think of. Well, I think that we want to also support the cause of the safety of all those individuals now vying for the summit of Mount Everest. Be safe, my friends, and don't let ego and ambition get in the way. And in the meantime, do a good deed, don't ask for anything in return, and make the world a better place, one tiny step at a time. Peace be with you.